Hey guys, we wanted to make a video. I don't know if you've ever had something that you wanted to do for a while and you've been putting it off and putting it off. And one of the things that we've really been wanting to do is to get a chance and have the opportunity to visit Prince's studio and slash house because he did it all in one. And it just so happened in the past couple of weeks we actually had some time between our schedules to go out and visit Minnesota. But when I thought about the trip, if I don't know how many of you have ever gone to the Paisley Park website, but when you go to look at some of the tours, you'll realize the tours aren't that long. They did just add a new one. It's like an ultimate tour. The prices range anywhere from $38 to $160 or so. But anyway, time-wise, I mean, if you're going to fly out of state for that, from another state just to Minnesota for that, it's only like maybe 2 hours or so. And so I said, well, gosh, if we do that, we probably ought to add something else into that trip. We did a mall also. We did a video, also about the Mall of America. That's another video. You can click in the description about that, and we'll give you a link to it. But we said, let's go ahead and finally do it and go ahead and take that trip.
Yep.
And so we took the trip, and it was a great experience.
It was. I just want to say that it was the three packages. One was the general admissions, the VIP, and then you already mentioned the ultimate package.
Yeah, that ultimate tour. And at first I thought there was something wrong with the website because we were trying to do the ultimate tour, and as soon as I clicked on it, by the time it showed the tickets that were available, it showed me the VIP ones. And so I said, well, I don't know why it's like that. Turns out they're sold out for like a couple months in advance. So if it looks like the website's not showing you that, that's the reason why. But so we did it. We got the tickets and everything. We booked the flight to go fly out to Minneapolis. We went out there on Wednesday to Minnesota. On Wednesday, that's when we did the Mall of America. But Thursday is when we actually got a chance to go to the tour to Prince's house. And so our tour was from about 12:40 to around 2, a little after 2 or so o'clock. And so we're sticklers about being on time. So one of the things the ticket will tell you is don't arrive any more than about 20 minutes prior to your tour time. So,
and we just kept driving by because we were so excited about going. He said, well, maybe they'll let us in a little bit early. And I know how it is when people have rules. And so I said, I don't know. They probably won't let us, but we drove through the fence anyway, and we tried.
Yeah. So we really spent some time. We really spent some time in the surrounding area. We went there early the first time, really early the first time, and the security guard was nice. He just gave us a little sheet of paper. He's like, "Hey, here's some stuff to do. In other words, get out of here. Here's some other stuff to do when you're in the area." And so what we found ourselves doing is driving down the street. There's a Chanhassen cinema. There's a movie theater not too far from there. It's about 5 minutes from his house. And in the back of that theater, someone painted a mural. And so we ended up taking some video and photos there.
Yeah, it was really, really cool. As you can see here, it was really cool. And then also we went to the park.
I think it's called Lynn Lake Park or something like that. It's also in Chanhassen. All of the stuff they give you is about 5 minutes away from his house. So we just walked around the park, got a chance to see, there was some kids with a camp or something doing a few things there. So they were out there. There's a little beach attached to the lake. So we just did some of those things just to kill some time before actually starting the tour.
Yeah, it was a really smart idea of them to have some activities for us because they probably already predicted that there are going to be people that's going to try to come in early. So they just found some things that we could actually do to occupy our time until it was our event time.
Just so you know, you probably already know this if you've ever spoken to anyone who's going on the tour anyway. This video is not going to have any footage of inside the house. Just so you know, they don't allow you to take any video. They don't allow you to take any photos inside of his house. Outside, you can do it if you want. So you'll see us with a couple clips maybe from the outside of the residence, even in the parking lot. But once you get inside, there's only a couple of designated areas, really one or two designated areas for you to take photos, and we did that.
Yeah, and the photo that they allow was really a photo that they take of you if you wanted a photo, and you had to pay for that. And so they had a special place for you to do that, and so that was perfect. But understandably so, because I'm a photographer and I'm a little sensitive about photos anyway and video. So, and of course, if they allowed us to do that, then there would be no need to come out and visit his house because everyone could just sit in front of the computer and look at it. So, and it's definitely not the same experience and vibe that you would get unless you were really there. So that was, understandably.
From the outside, starting from the outside and working our way in, if you're looking for any of the old memorial stuff that used to be along the fence, like after Prince had passed away, they've taken all that stuff down, but they've moved it inside, so you're not going to see that. But he is on like a major thoroughfare, so there are signs all over telling you don't walk along the outside of the perimeter, all that kind of stuff. So if you're thinking you're going to walk and take footage out there, I don't know, you'll probably get a ticket or somehow. But.
Yeah, you'll get ran off somehow because they have, like he said, signs are out there that says no walking, which means you can't prance up and down the road in front of his house with videos and photos. They're just not having it. So,
and the again, start from the outside. The first thing that's going to probably strike you if you've never seen Prince's house is that his house doesn't look like a house. His house looks more like a commercial building. And I think I kind of make a joke that most musicians, they buy a house and then they put a studio in it. I think Prince was so into his music, he was just the opposite. He's in the studio all the time, so I think he bought a studio and put his house in it. So most of what you're going to see inside is like, it's so that he doesn't have to go anywhere. Everything from the studios to the chefs to the movie sets, all that stuff is in his house. So it's really cool. So once we got inside, you want to talk about that?
Once we got inside, we just saw a lot of his memorabilia, his awards and everything, cassette tapes. It was funny to see younger people, looking at cassette tapes and wondering what they were. His clothing, I guess you want to call it costumes in a way. His costumes were on display, and boy, he was really a petite guy. He really was smaller than I thought. So, but just to see that stuff was cool because they were the actual costumes that you would see in some of his music videos and some of the movies he was in. They were on display.
Yeah, and Prince, as you already know, Prince has a very eclectic fan base. So everything from all different races to genders. Everybody was from different places. There was, of course, we were from Atlanta. There was us and another couple that was from Macon, Georgia, and then there were some people there from California, and I can't remember some of the other places.
I thought it was someone there from Chicago. But it was only one person there from Minnesota, and she actually said, "I'm from down the street." Yeah,
that was funny. We was all looking at all the places we were from, and she's like, "Just right down the street." So, so when we walked through there, they started us off, of course, looking at all of his albums, how many millions of albums, 100 and something million albums or something, I think he sold. And then they walked you right into the atrium, which is the main foyer. If you've ever seen when Oprah Winfrey is interviewing Prince, she interviews him right there in the atrium. You may not have known that, but that's where it's a big symbol of his name right there in the center of the floor. And they gave us a little bit about his background, and they talked about the doves. He's still got the doves right there above the atrium. And
real doves too. Oh, right. You're talking about the murals.
No. The real doves.
The real
you're
doves,
talking about. Yeah, he actually has, I guess, 2 doves now.
He has 2 doves left.
But he had 3 at one point. I guess one was maybe getting older or something. I don't know. But it was Majesty and Divinity, and there was another one named Divinity. But Majesty, ironically, died after Prince died. But one thing that I didn't know, and I think it caught a few people off guard because some people got kind of emotional. But Prince's ashes are actually in his house.
Yeah, and we won't spoil it and tell you where. You'd have to go there and see where, but they are there.
Yeah, so I think that caught little people off guard, so they kind of give you a moment if you want to kind of pay respects. So some people I've heard from hearing a little bit about other people's comments that they got emotional just starting the tour before you even got going. But once we got through that's when there's several rooms right off of that main atrium, his office where he did a lot of his business and stuff. So they showed that, and as she just mentioned,
I forgot what they call the little. I don't know, the glow room.
It's Galaxy
the Galaxy room.
Yeah, everyone called it Galaxy
cool.
room.
I saw everyone's fingernails lighting up, and we had on white, so the white was just glowing.
Right. If you watch the interview with Oprah Winfrey, that's the actual room that Prince takes her through, where she's like, "You're different," or something like that. But anyway, it's a real dark room and it looks like stars. It's the Galaxy room. That's the room that we were actually in as well. But yeah, she mentioned we saw a lot of his costumes. And I already knew Prince was short. I mean, I'm probably 5'6" or so. I already knew Prince was short. I suspected that I was taller than Prince, but to see his clothing stretched out, because they have it almost like on a mannequin, even with the shoes, and to see it stretched out like that, then you really realize just how small Prince was. And I was like, wow.
Really petite. His legs were so tiny. It was something else. I think I overheard someone say that a lot of his regular dress clothes, street clothes, were bought from Target in the boys department. So I don't know if that's true or not, but that's what I heard. So
right. I think we went from there. I think from there we started going into. We went into there's a the room where they showed a couple of his pianos. There's a couple of his pianos. They had two of his pianos there, which is one that we took a photo in front of. So they had a piano and his guitar, and he had started a band called Third Eye Girl. I don't know if you've ever heard of Third Eye Girl, but it's a big graphic of him on the wall, and then the other band members. In our photo, you can only see just us and Prince behind us. Yeah. But that's where that's right there and taken in Studio B. So in that same room where you saw us take a photo, there's actually a studio there. And that's where he recorded quite a few songs. Depending upon what package you end up getting, they let you record a song. It's kind of funny. So they have lyrics to about 3 or 4 songs. Not a whole song, just some snippets of the song. But they'll actually allow you to pick one of those 4 songs and go into the studio and record a song. So yes, I did go into the studio, and my album's dropping. So I did go in there saying the most beautiful girl in the world for my wife. So we went in the studio, and that was really cool. And Prince played ping pong a lot. So while some people were taking photos, while some people were in the studio, we were playing ping pong. So that was
got a chance
pretty nice
to do that. Yeah, that was cool. Well, I didn't want to share too much.
Yeah.
Because, it'll spoil the fun for you guys. But we just wanted to let you know how nice it is, and that I think it's something that if you're a Prince fan, I think it's something that you should put in part of your when you're having a list of things or places that you want to visit. I think that should be one of them on your list if you're a real fan.
Right, and definitely, like we said, if you do like we did, we flew in town really just for this. Add the Mall of America to your trip. We'll make another video just on the Mall of America, but definitely do that. We flew in town the day before, really early, so that we could spend all day at the Mall of America. All right, but that's an awesome trip. They did a fabulous job with the tour, so definitely put it on your to-do list when you get a chance.
Yes, I mean, I lost track of time while we were in there too. They really make it worth your while.
Yep.
All right, so that's it.
See you on the next one.